All right, all right. And we are now live. Peace to the family. Peace to the family. Peace to everybody out there. Hope everybody's doing great on this Monday, July 14th. Hope everybody's weekend, or as Blue Pill likes to say, strong end,
Strong.
was fulfilling, you know. And we're gonna have a great show tonight. One of the legends that have been on my platform for over the last decade. We're touching on some current events and what's going on in the culture at this moment. And I think it's important to have a conversation about some of these things. So I want to allow everybody to fill up the room. And as y'all do that, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my brother War Moon. I see you. Ramsha the Goddess. I got an opportunity to meet that sister at Stone Mountain. Shout out to Ramsha the Goddess. I met you. I'm glad that I finally got the opportunity to meet you at Stone Mountain. And shout out to everybody else that's in the chat. We about to get this thing started. With that being said, I want to welcome back to the platform. Y'all seen this man so many times on the show. None other than Professor Griff.
Hey,
Welcome back, brother.
it's a pleasure to be back, good brother. How you feel?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great.
Okay,
My days.
I'm digging your background.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. It's this brother from Brazil.
Mm,
A brother from Brazil actually designed it.
okay.
And all of these, the animals, the owl,
Yeah.
you see all of that, man. So it's beautiful. I appreciate it. Shout out to damn, what's the brother name? Bochita. Shout out to Bochita.
Oh,
Shout out
okay.
to Bochita. You know what I'm saying? Griff, man, we got a lot to talk about today. A lot going on. Um, so much talk, Griff. So much talk on
Uh-huh.
social media. I mean, everywhere I look, people are talking about this Essence Festival. Essence Festival, Griff.
Hmm.
And I just seen the Breakfast Club interview with the owner. Jesus
Right.
Christ, I forgot the brother's name. Hold up. Give me 1 second, y'all. What's his name? Richard Lou Dennis. I might be mispronouncing it. I think the brother's from Algeria,
Right.
but
Okay.
Richard Lou Dennis, and I think he was he's a chairman. And okay, yeah, okay, he acquired Essence from Time Inc. according to Bloomberg.com. Right. Yeah, I seen his interview on the Breakfast Club, but the other day. But besides that, I mean, the internet is just talking about it. A lot of people are upset. Griff. First of all, Essence is one of the biggest, Griff, one of the biggest conventions, largest conventions annually in the USA. You know, for the last decade, Griff, I've been talking about going to Essence, and I never managed to make it there. So yeah, I never managed to make it there. So made so it's it is what it is. But in my mind, Essence is like the place to be every summer. So hearing about this, I was like, wow, people are saying that it's different. It was empty. Um a lot of people, a lot of Black Americans are upset that they feel like the people that own Essence, African brother. There's a CEO's a Kenyan sister from Kenya. They're changing. They're changing the whole, the
Right.
whole vibe of what it's about. And I'm gonna, let me do some reading. I'm gonna go to Ebony. I'm gonna go to the Ebony website. We're gonna do some reading. All right. When the 2025 Essence Festival of Culture started last week in New Orleans, it was precisely what it has always been: a homecoming, a cultural pilgrimage, a sanctuary of Southern rooted Black joy. But for many attendees in a sea of vibrant Blackness, a familiar tension made its way to the surface. Festival goers took to social media to voice concerns about a myriad of production issues, including what felt like an erosion of the festival's Black American focus. The presence of more Pan African inclusion left some feeling sidelined in a space historically cultivated by and for Black Americans. particularly descendants of slavery in the American South. TikTok creator Deja captured this sentiment in a widely shared video. Instead, it's become a space that uplifts everyone else, um, Africans, aside from Black American heritage. That shift is starting to feel more intentional. More criticisms quickly spiraled, with the loudest voices spewing xenophobia. Essence Fest used to be a celebration of Black American culture, the culture that is ours, the culture we built from the ground up, the culture and Black Americans influenced the world through has now been co-opted by a bunch of Africans. A bunch of Black Americans are not feeling it. Africans don't set culture for this world. We do. Until Essence Fest gets back to the Black Americans who created it and founded it and led the culture, it will continue to fail with those Africans in charge, said digital media entrepreneur Rob Smith. By the end of the Essence Festival of Culture, which was celebrating its 31st year of production, the calls for accountability and cultural specificity turned into a heated debate across social media, podcasts, and op-eds, with some calling out xenophobia undertones and others standing firm on the importance of protecting sacred cultural ground. But it raised a deeper question. Is there only room for one version of blackness in spaces created to honor the full range Black diaspora? Now, let me just read two things real quick before we get into the questions. So, give me 1 second, family. So one of the things that the owner, Richard, said when he was being interviewed on the Breakfast Club, he alluded to the fact that Professor Griff, that we need to, we won't be around if we don't accept other cultures. People are saying that they're erasing the original intentions of Essence, the celebration of Black American culture. He said we won't be around. Basically, I'm summing it up, not verbatim. If we don't let in, if we don't accept and let in other cultures. So I just want to read you one of the comments from the Breakfast Club since I just seen this, and I said let me share this with Griff as we start the show. Somebody said, I think this interview is missing the point. Essence Festival historically celebrated Black American excellence. Think about it. If a Black American went to any African country, bought an existing African business, then changed it to be more Americanized and started moving away from their norm, to be honest, the local African populations would not be happy. That business might be run out of town. You must be more sensitive to cultures. Mr. Dennis should create a separate event with the intention of blending Black cultures from Africa, America, and every other country where African diaspora is present. A new Essence United initiative with a mandate to unite all people of African heritage would be well received. That would be historical and could spark the hope of a one true, one Africa. So, people feel away. What some people, Griff, see as diversity, some people see as they're trying to erase our impact. Now, when you came on the show, Griff, I remember a couple of months ago, and we did a show. And Griff, I want to take some Q&A from the people in the audience. So do you mind if I
Yeah.
bring
Okay.
some
Cool.
people on? Yeah, so I'll
Yeah.
share
Yeah.
the link in
Yeah.
the chat, and if y'all interested, y'all can click on the link and come in and participate on this conversation. It's not, I want to definitely get some input from y'all out there. So I'm about to share the link. But with that being said, Griff, like I said, well, one group sees as diversity, another group sees as, hey, they run a game on us. They're trying to erase our contributions, whatever, whatever. Now, last thing I want to say before you respond, my brother. The last time, not the last time, you was on here a couple of months ago. We was talking about hip hop. I noticed you got a lot of criticism from the comments with your take on the origins of hip hop, and a lot of people feel as though Black Americans aren't getting their just due or their credit for what we have invented. Um, there's this thing going on, Griff, where there's this divide, Griff, and that's why I want to talk to you about it because you're one of the elders. I'm younger than you, my brother, and I see the confusion with King Simon when he's asking people what's going on with King Simon is Jamaican. King Simon is like, yo, why aren't people accepting Pan-Africanism no more? James Small is like, yo, what's Africa's not our enemy. a lot of Black Americans, you know, and I'm Black American, feel as though it's not that we're rejecting Pan Africanism, we're embracing who we are as a group over here, the same way every other group embraces who they are wherever they are currently at, whether it's Jamaican, whether it's Rihanna and Barbados, whether it's you know, Bob Marley in Jamaica, or wherever you at. So with that being said, everything going on, the atmosphere, you see what's going on the internet and on the web. A lot of people are talking about this. Videos are all over, Griff. What's just start out? What's your general thought on what's taking place? The backlash that Essence is receiving from not only Black Americans but from Africans chiming in as well about what they think about the way we're responding to what's happening with the festival, Professor Griff.
Well, thank you very much once again, and um I do accept any and all criticism. I didn't hear or read the pushback that you said I received because I've never, um, no one made me aware of that was happening. I would like to know what that is while I answer this other question. So if we were talking about the origins of hip hop, I don't see how people got that twisted. Everyone know my position. You understand what I'm saying? So let me say that to segue into this whole idea of the origins of the Essence Festival. If we're talking about going as far back as the 19, uh, partying with a purpose, so to speak, 95, even going back a little bit further than that, there are not only the Essence festivals that we've created, there's some other major events that go on in America created by Black people. I wanted to say funded, but not. A lot of other people invest in these particular events, but they are mainly um, for Black people. Now we can be very diverse. We could bring other people in from other countries that are Black, but I think other people from other countries, be they Black or whatever, need to respect the fact that these are foundational, quote unquote, Black Americans that created and started this thing as a not necessarily a holiday, but a holiday for us, a festival for us, a gathering and coming together for us. And there's no mistaking about that. The artists that because I performed several times at the Essence Festival. As far as I could see, that was about us. Now, you may have had other people there participating in other aspects of it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But everyone needs to fall in line and understand and follow the rules of what it's meant and what it's actually laid out and what it's meant for. You're coming into someone else's culture. All right, your culture's way, your way of life, how you walk, how you talk, how you speak, how you dress, how you move, the music you interact with, um, how you get with others and how y'all interact with music. Whether it's line dancing or whether it's something else. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it's break dancing, line dancing, or whatever. It's our culture. And I think the thing that was said on the Breakfast Club was on point. You cannot have a festival or something very cultural going down in someone else's culture, and then we decide to go in and kind of make it our own. It's like, no, they got every right to throw us out of their particular culture. The Essence Festival will fail every single year from now on until they press the reset button and bring it right back to it for it to be a Black cultural event, a Black cultural festival. When you were reading, it said it raised a deeper question, and a deeper question that it raised is there only room for one version of Blackness in spaces created to honor the full range of the Black diaspora? And yes, that's a very valid question in and of itself. But what version of the essence, what version of Blackness did the Essence Festival hold down for all these years since the 90s? All right. It
Right.
was this version of Blackness. You understand what I'm saying? um, they didn't kind of slowly make their way in. This thing is changing automatically right in front of our eyes. You understand what I'm saying? And
Mm.
too diverse, too fast, too soon, too quick. You understand what I'm saying? So much so the average person at the Essence Festival can't even name three Afrobeat artists or any black artists from Brazil or any other place on or outside of the continent or the black African diaspora. So when you start integrating stuff, can you imagine going to the Essence Festival and you can't find trying traditional black American dishes
Mm.
and you got to eat food, Nigerian food or Ghanaian food or food from wherever, from Ethiopia or whatever? It's a beautiful thing. We love it. They still black. But the Essence Festival, like some of the other festivals around the country, was meant for us. Now let me pivot back to this the comments about Professor Griff and his origin of hip hop. What were these particular comments? Let me address that before I move on.
Um. Well, in
If you,
general, you got it, Griff. What you said, Griff?
I said, if you can remember.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just to summarize it. Damn, I wish I could just pull it up real quick, but I don't. I don't remember what I named the video. Just in general, people felt as though your opinion was kind of outdated in terms of the can't. Oh, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but basically, you wasn't keeping it real in terms of who created hip hop and laying it all out, and just some people feel as though a lot of the elders are afraid to hurt feelings if it involves melanated people.
Wait. You sure you got the right person? I'm not Chuck D. This is Griff. I ain't
Yeah.
never said nothing crazy like that. Like,
Hold up.
help me out, bro, because I'm getting confused right now.
Let's. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, Griff. Let's move on to the next question. I'm in the meantime, I'm gonna pull it up in the background,
I
and
got you.
we could
All right.
we could get back to it because I don't want to.
All right. So
That was months ago. You got it, Griff. Yeah.
all right, let me finish. I wish you would have made me available to that, bro. As a matter of fact,
Oh, you did?
I had
Okay.
I had a bottle of resurrection formula sitting right here for you for like
Oh
five
man,
months now.
I know. I gotta. I gotta.
Anyway, let me finish
I
this
know.
point. So
Right.
we're talking about the black African diaspora, the black diaspora. We
Yeah.
cannot go anywhere in any other. I'm gonna call it a subculture for now. It's black
Yeah.
culture, but it's a subculture. All right.
Yeah.
If you're not acclimated to what they're doing in Brazil, you're not going to get accepted. Can you imagine someone coming from Africa, the Ivory Coast or Senegal,
Mm.
somewhere, and trying to do the line dance, and you don't know the song, you don't know the music, you don't know the steps? You understand what I'm saying? So even if we wanted to invite people in, there's a gradual get to knowing us that's involved, get to knowing how we move.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? You just can't come in and say, okay, we're going to celebrate diversity and we're going to allow some of everybody to come in and do some of everything.
Mm.
No, not at all. Not at the Essence Festival. Now, we could try that at some of the other smaller things until they get acclimated on how we move, but no, not at the Essence Festival. I'm sorry, not. I seen one
Mm.
sister doing the damn line dance and where them fans at? Her fan was so damn big, she popped a couple of people in the head. So much
Damn.
so that the Carnival Cruise Lines banned the fans.
Mm. Mm.
You can't
Mm.
even bring the fans on board no more.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Griff, let me
So,
ask you. You got it, Griff.
no, go on, I'm listening.
Do you think the word? Because I noticed this is one thing I noticed. Is that feedback coming from my line or?
I think it's from your line, yeah.
Yeah, it is coming. After I ask you this question, I'm gonna go out and come back in. But do you think there's this word that we use that could get your channel flagged when you talk about a certain group and they say, "Hey, you're anti
Uh,
such and such." Everybody knows
yep.
what I'm talking about. That word has been weaponized like a mug. I want to
I,
ask you, Griff. whenever you offer criticism to that group, they throw that out there, they weaponize it, and label you that. What I want to ask you, Griff, is in terms of what we're talking about today. I notice if we bring up this topic, which is an important. Am I echoing on your end, Griff? Because I'm echoing on
No,
mine.
no,
Okay,
you
so
echoing on your end.
I'll fix it after I ask the question. Um, being that that word is weaponized, I want to ask you. I noticed if I talk about police brutality, a group will say, "Hey, you hate the police," and I'm like, "No, I don't. I'm just talking about the injustice inflicted by the police on my people." If you talk about anything that whatever group that you're talking about, if they're the perpetrator of what you're talking about, they automatically say you're being divisive. So with a topic like this, when the black Americans saying, I don't want to sound like Trump, the blacks, but with black with black Americans saying, um, y'all trying to erase our culture, one of the first words that comes up if we even have this conversation, hey, you're being divisive to sort of eliminate us from even having a conversation in the first place. So I want to talk to you about the weaponization, if you feel there has been, of the word divisive, just like there has been a weaponization of other words, just like the anti such and such that I was just talking about. And let me fix this echo. But go ahead, Griff.
Not only have they weaponized certain terms that they've already put among us for us to use against one another, they've weaponized the whole idea of us relating to anything that would advance us as a people. It gets weaponized. I saw someone ranting and raving about how we have recognized the fact that because we are responding to some of the Negroes and the Uncle Toms and the bootlicking Negroes, we're responding to them with showing and demonstrating black excellence. There is black excellence among us on a small scale and, of course, on a larger scale. I don't care if it's somebody winning a tennis tournament or somebody like Ibrahim Traore doing the damn thing with running his own country so the wealth of that particular nation can benefit the people. So anything that we may use that's going to advance us as a people, whether it's politically, culturally, or however, they seem to want to kind of set these things and throw these things in the fray, in the pot, so that we can take these kind of terms and then, in our ignorance, use them to beat one another down with them. I simply said that the brothers and sisters coming from the continent or the Caribbean islands or Brazil or any other place around the globe that are probably darker than us, if you come here to America and you participate in Black American festivities, all right, there is a cultural norm, meaning a process, meaning a way that we kind of move and the way we do things. You have to get to know what that particular thing is. And we as the people who we are, we accept anybody to come on in. It's like, come on in. You haven't tasted grandma's cooking? Come on in. Yada yada yada. Even when we introduce them to certain foods we eat, recipes or whatever. Yeah, them taste buds got to get used to that, man. You understand what I'm saying? So now let me ask a question. Is there a cultural exchange? Can we necessarily go to other places and get invited and able to establish ourselves in other subcultures and everything be, peaches and cream and no one really says anything? No, I think the essence was the wrong place. And even if it was, they should have had a certain time, certain day, certain place. The international black diaspora, yada 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 yada, on level 2 at the play at the Superdome somewhere, yada yada yada. Then we could have went there and we could have experienced all the other black cultures. We could have tasted the food, interacted with them. They could have taught us how to dance, some history about Africa, and blah, 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 blah. We could have did all of that. But to come in and besiege the Essence Festival with just being diverse, Nope, 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 no, 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 no. You see, black people in America, we've been that trick has been played on us too many times. All right, where the other people have said we need to be more diverse, and then when we're more diverse, we allow them other people to come in. All right, with the flag, the hairstyles, the
Check,
the
check.
behavior, and that kind of thing, and it ends up being something else. And by the time you know it, 2 or 3 years go by, it's not what it started out to be. You understand what I'm saying? Trust me, in about 3 years, the Essence Festival ain't gonna look the same.
Mm,
It's
mm.
not gonna look the same. Now, some people say it needs to change anyway because it's getting more and more ratchet. All right, but that's up to the Essence
The-
Festival.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So now, hold on, let me just say one last thing. What
Mm,
is the hallmark? Thank you, King Simon. What is the hallmark and the pillar and the foundation of how we were brought up? I don't know about you, Brother Rich, but me, in my age, I was brought up on Soul Train,
yeah.
Jet Magazine, Ebony Magazine, Essence Magazine, some food that wasn't too damn healthy for me. Soul food. You understand
Mm,
what I'm saying?
mm,
R&B, soul, funk music, and there's some other basic things I could mention. Um, Christianity until
mhm,
Islam came in and made its presence in the black community. There's just certain things on how I was brought up. And I can share that experience with 98% of the people that's on this live. It's only
mm,
but a few people that didn't have that shared experience. So I'm asking you, can anyone come from any other experience and come and understand what the Essence Festival is even about?
mm.
We could ask some of them, why do we call it the Essence Festival? You understand what I'm saying? Something very simple. What
Right.
do we do at the Essence Festival? The majority of the people that go to the Essence Festival ain't got a goddamn ticket to get nothing. They just there because our people are there. You follow what I'm saying?
Right, right,
It's a
right.
very real thing. We like to see and be among our people.
In-
Anyway,
Indeed. Some King Simon just texted me something. He said we forgot the root of the Essence Festival was for African American women. So
yeah.
he sent me some. Essence magazine was established in 1968 by four black entrepreneurs to serve as a lifestyle production publication specifically for African American women. The founders recognized the gap in the media landscape, noting that the lack of representation to focus on this demographic. They aimed to create a platform that celebrated Black beauty, fashion, and culture, while also addressing issues relevant to Black women's lives. Essence emerged from Black Power and Black Beautiful movements, aiming to inspire, uplift, and empower Black women. So King Simon just sent me that. Oh, real quick before even comment on that, I'm leaving. Like, I want this to be a discussion tonight, and don't hit me with the divide bullshit. I just told y'all that's some weaponized shit. This is a conversation that has to be had. It's all over the internet. We are not getting away from this topic of the people in the Black American experience feeling. I never thought. I'm gonna just say it like this. I never thought 10 years ago all I seen was the Pan-African flags. From what I see now, is definitely a change in what in the way in the direction people are feeling online. And I think that's why it's good to have somebody from the older generation, Griff, and people from the younger generation communicating with each other so that we can understand each other. Same way with Professor Small. I want us to understand each other and why we feel the way we feel. I'm leaving the link once again. If you got a question or comment, don't be long-winded for Professor Griff. I'm leaving the link, yeah, in the chat, family. But I want to get to the first person, the first caller. This brother has called him before. My brother Ani Asaru. So let me get to this brother. Ani, are you there, my brother?
Yeah, you can hear me, brother?
Yes, yes, I can. Peace, peace, brother. What's going on?
I'm doing good, man. I'm enjoying what Brother Griff is, Professor Griff is saying, and enjoying what you guys are talking about and discussing. One thing I noticed is that I didn't hear Brother Professor Griff brought this up about the Solomon Group, who owns the Essence Festival.
Okay.
It's a white-owned group. and they brought in other people from the diaspora to
Mm,
control a Black American previously owned festival that was
mm,
for us. And this started where some of these white funded groups do things like try to bring in people that aren't of our culture to represent us, not only in something like this in media, visuals of our great Black Americans in history, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, cannot be played by Black Americans. And now you have our festivals being representative by other people. What do you say to that, Professor Griff? And is that something intentional being done? And what is the rift and the psychological operation that's happening with this?
mm.
Well,
Okay.
the rift that's happening, and I think that thing that's happening. I'm glad you mentioned the fact that it's a cycle, it's a psyops, and it definitely is. Simply because if we're talking about um, a group like the Solomon Group,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't think they own it, but I think they were the ones that's working closely with the people that actually own the Essence Festival, and they're the ones that do the planning, so to speak. Ani, you understand what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think they own it, but they do the planning. So then if you pull up the Solomon Group and you look at a picture of them, it's everybody, it's everyone but us
Mm,
that's in the
mm,
smoke-filled back room that's planning out the Essence Festival. Do you understand what I'm saying? And to answer your question very directly, Ani, it's um it's a psyop simply because every little step that we try to make, quoting Bobby Brown, every little step I take to try to move towards to move towards you, our needs, so we could both move back towards our center on who we are as a great and marvelous people. They always try to set us back. You understand what I'm saying? We could create a festival called the Radiohead Rich Festival. And in
mm,
about 5 years, they'll try to take that over. You understand what I'm
mm,
saying? Simply
mm,
because they don't want to see black people be themselves in something that we create and that we own. Now listen, what happened to all the black owned companies and clothing lines and all these companies and things created in the past? What happened to FUBU?
mm.
I thought it was for you, by you, or for us, by us. What happened to the it was a Cross Colors and a couple of them other companies that started Carl Kanai and all these other companies started out fine. You
Mm,
understand what I'm saying? But when them other people are start looking at these kind of situations, like, wait a minute, yeah, we need to take control of that. You understand what I'm saying? Now I don't know if they're doing it out of jealousy or they just see the fact that they have money, that brand is doing well, and I need some of that money. Maybe it's a
mm,
smooth business deal. I don't know.
mm,
You
mm,
follow what I'm saying? But
mm,
black excellence is on the rise, and everything that we try to create. Yeah, let me tell you something, man. They're gonna purposely change change the rules of tennis because we winning too much.
mm,
They've changed the rules in basketball, and I said it on this platform many times. They had because of the black man's prowess, the shorts that the white boys used to wear in basketball, they had to make them longer.
I
They
heard you.
had
I
to
heard
make the
you.
court
Yeah.
longer. They had to make the rim higher. They created this thing called the 3-point line, but that didn't mean nothing to us. Shit, after eating a couple of bowls of Cheerios, we was there. We was ramming it from the 3-point line. That don't mean nothing to us because we get in and we make it our own. You understand what I'm saying? There's a brother coming up now in the NFL. The brother is ambidextrous. The
Mm,
brother can throw with left hand or right hand. Now they're gonna start making rules to curb that, bro.
mm, mm, mm,
You understand what I'm saying?
mm,
So
mm,
they're keeping their eye on the pulse of who we are as a people. I could go so far as to say this. Black people around the black African diaspora are keeping their finger on the pulse of black people in America. They get their trends and customs and how they move from us. Now, I'm not
mm,
talking about their traditions, Brother Rich.
mm,
I'm not talking about the ceremonies and the festivals and the things that they have every year to honor themselves and their gods and their religion and their tradition.
mm.
But go among their youth. You understand what I'm saying? You think you was in Detroit or Memphis or Atlanta somewhere.
Yeah, I be seeing the videos online. Yeah, I see.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They keep
yeah.
their finger on the pulse of what we, black people, do here in America. Thank you, Ani.
I wanna so Griff, and I wanna get to I seen we got somebody, let me get to this caller real quick. Let me get to this Rhonda. Are you there? Rhonda Brown, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Peace. Yes, I can hear you. Got a question or comment for Professor Griff?
I have a comment to a couple of
Yes.
things that were said.
Yes.
I'm an educator, retired educator out of Los Angeles. I retired
Mm-hmm.
from running the Crenshaw Art Department.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to say and what I've expressed to our youth and things that he said, Black excellence is on the rise. We've been Black excellence, so the entire world follows the American Negro. And people don't like the word Negro, but I encourage it because Negro was a federal, we were recognized in federal documents. The Black Indians, original people, were the Negroes. That is the original name to the Harlem Renaissance. It was actually called the New Negro Movement, which means anybody identifying themselves in the 1930s were saying that they were Indian. So everything is built based on us. There is no other culture in the world that leads besides us. And the thing about that, the Africans, is that they're only conveniently black. If you are amongst them, amongst themselves, they would never call themselves black. They become black when it's convenient to get the money that's accessible for us. So it's a very decisive way in which they're moving, which they're being offered opportunities to replace us. Someone made the brother made the comment earlier that was excellent, because why do you have someone outside? There's so many talented actors here that are Black Americans, and I use the word Black loosely for everybody, but there's no need to go to London to get someone to play us. I also want to talk about the Caribbean. The Caribbean belongs to the Americas. No other place in the world do they separate their islands
Mm.
from the mainland, right? So when people want to say that the Caribbean is not American, the Caribbean is absolutely American. Bahamians, the people from Bahamas founded Coral Gables, the most expensive, location in Florida. So that's also part of the decisiveness. You separate our islands from our mainlands. We're the same people, which is why all of us get along. And my last point I want to say is um, the Essence Festival. Most people don't know the history. Essence Festival was founded, it was Essence Magazine, but they went to Valerie Norman Gammon. She was originally from the Bronx. She was the first Black woman to create the first music festival back in the 70s, which was the Cancun Jazz Festival. I don't know if people know about the Cancun Jazz Festival, but that was the very first music festival that was run by Black folks, which was a Black woman. So they came to her when this was to create the Essence Festival. It is completely to celebrate our culture, and it was for obviously Essence, which was geared toward Black women. But this is something that is uniquely part of us and most of the things that we founded. So I want to just say, give thanks to bringing up the topic, and know that Black excellence is what we are and what everybody follows.
Thank you much. Thank you so much for the call, Rhonda.
Give thanks.
All right. All right. Shout out to Rhonda Brown for that call. Griff, any comments on what the sister just said?
Oh, of course, she was spot on. I mean, she was right on it. And I think the history that she kind of gave is just indicative to some of the other things that we have done that are not so known as the
Mm-hmm.
Essence Festival. It's just that everyone looks forward to the Essence Festival simply because they got that weekend off. It's the 4th of July, as opposed to staying home and popping firecrackers. Let me go down and be with my people. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing. But um, Miss Rhonda Brown was on it, being a black educator, definitely in the arts, in the culture and arts department. Yeah, that's it. We need more Rhonda Browns. You understand what I'm saying? Um, um, in those particular areas, especially the arts, because we look at the arts as like it's not important, but everyone going through junior college and that kind of thing has to take liberal arts. So I think Rhonda's on it. It makes perfect sense. You understand what I'm saying? And then what you said and what King Simon said you made perfect sense. If we created this thing for black women, then a black woman comes up out of that, the magazine aspect of it, to do a jazz festival, and even as Rhonda said, the Cancun Jazz Festival, and even morphing into some other festivals like the Essence Festival, yeah, we need to keep it. We need to keep it black. We need to keep what it is. And we're not saying no one else can come. Come on, participate in what we got going on. Everybody want
I
to
don't
be
know. Again, I'm
everybody
sorry.
want to be invited to the black barbecue. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But when they started passing out some quote unquote black food or some soul food, don't be going ill. You at the barbecue, you expect that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gonna see some weave, you gonna see some muffin tops, you gonna see some goddamn stretch marks, you gonna see some, yeah, you gonna see it. So brace
Gonna see.
yourself. You understand what
Man,
I'm saying?
yeah. Griff, I want to bring up something Kanye said that I thought was interesting. That I thought I could kind of tie into what's happening somewhat. He was being interviewed on Friedman or Friedman show when he was going through the whole he's anti such and such, and Lex is one of those small hats. So he was interviewing Kanye, and he asked Kanye what he wanted his legacy to be. Kanye said that he wants his legacy. This is interesting, right? Kanye said he wants his legacy to be forgotten. Kanye said there's ego and memory. Who designed the sidewalk? Who designed the water fountain? Who designed the stop sign? Who designed the stoplight? But I mean, side note, these are invented by Black Americans, by the way. But I'm not. That's a whole nother topic. Kanye said these things are so ubiquitous. What's that word?
Ubiquitous.
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 That means you can see it everywhere. That means it's mainstream. It's popular. He said these things are so ubiquitous. Damn, I'm saying it wrong. That there's that the person that designed them is forgotten. If it's a good idea, it's a God idea. I feel like Griff, and when he said that, I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "I feel like people, black people
Oh,
in America." That's what I said. I feel like black people in America have designed so many good ideas or God ideas, and it has become so popular, so mainstream, people forgot whoever invented them. So even hip hop, something like hip hop, I feel like hip hop is such a global sensation. People like, well, this belongs to the world. I feel like once you obtain that God level genius, people just attribute it to God. They're like, well, shit, this was inspired by God. We can't attribute this to no group. Like that's genius what he said. It becomes so ubiquitous that the person that designed it is completely forgotten. But what you think about what Kanye said and in the context of what we're talking about or whatever, Griff?
yeah, that is mind numbing.
It's interesting. Yeah.
When they start talking about so and so invented lightning and the other person invented this, that, and the other, they always give themselves credit and build statues and monuments and holidays around these individuals that so-called with these so-called inventions. And they let you know simply because you're taught uh, European history in school. You're taught everything about America in history, and you're taught nothing about who we are as a people. And then they give us the 20 some odd days in February. But yeah, listen, if they gave us the vast majority of the year, we wouldn't have enough time to even go over just the inventions that we've invented to make this thing run in America and throughout the world. You understand what I'm saying? So I think to the degree what Kanye West was saying was true to a degree. We kind of take it for granted. Even black people take these kind of things for granted rather than stopping for a second and saying, okay, everyone needs the book by a supreme understanding. And I think the book is called Black People Created Everything, like everything. So yeah, you're right. Um, it could be ubiquitous, it could be commonplace, it could be like, okay, didn't know that, didn't learn that in school. Ignorance is no excuse though. Didn't learn that in school. I didn't know black people created all of these particular things. You understand what I'm saying? So I think what he's saying is cool, but we're not going to just pawn it off and play it off like, let's give the credit to God. No, let's give the credit to the God inside of that human being that created this thing. If you got some damn a hangnail or some crusty toenails with athlete's feet and all this other stuff with your crusty toes hanging out of your damn sandals, you better fix your mouth to say, man, thank God for the black man that created the toenail clipper. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Hell yeah. You're not gonna say, well, thank God for the toenail clipper. Some people do because it's commonplace. We don't think about it. It's a tool. It's sold at Wally World and the corner store and wherever else, and I'm thankful for it. We don't think twice to think about who created the fan or the refrigerator.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And we should.
Mm.
And we should. And to say, I'm saying all that to say this on one point that I forgot to mention. You know, the Foundational Black Americans, the FBA, they got a point. When you start to look at all of this thing, when you really start to look at it, when the dust settles and it clears, they have a point. Because when we circle back around, why is everyone always taking from us? All right. And we never seem to get the credit. Let me ask you something. Let's ask King Simon, has he ever read a history book in elementary school in whatever Caribbean island that he's from, and they mention the black inventions from black Americans in America?
Yeah.
Talking about cultural exchange, because their roads are paved, they got street lights, stop signs. You understand what I'm saying? Vending machines, refrigerators, blenders. They have these things. So do black people get the credit in these other countries? Are they learning about black American inventions in Africa, in some of these other places where the owners of Essence are from? Yeah, I think not.
Very interesting question. Damn, I had a caller here. Empress, are you still there? I seen you was in the back, but I don't see you anymore. Uh while we wait for the callers, if anybody wants to call in, Griff, what's the deal with? I know you specialize in and we'll get back to this topic. I know you specialize in self defense, and I actually went to the gun range with you. And people are saying Palantir is the most evil company in the world, the most evil corporation in the world. And I've been hearing a lot of things about Peter Thiel and Palantir, and I'm just curious about what your opinion is about them and their new involvement with the government, my brother.
Oh man, they was on my radar for a long time. Um, I did a lecture. Brother brought me up to Connecticut, and then I went up into Boston, and they was just kind of talking about the defense contractors that are there on the African continent, wreaking havoc, man. And I was just saying to myself, well, who are these companies, and what do these companies actually do? So when I started looking into the billions of dollars that are run through these defense contractors, whether they're getting their money from the United States government, which the military budget, I believe the last time I studied it and looked was at $80 billion. 80, I don't even know how many zeros that is. $80 billion military defense budget coming out of America. So the whole idea of Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and a couple of these other cats that have come together to put together certain companies in Silicon Valley that are primarily focusing on counterterrorism is a hell of a thing. So when you start talking about who are these cats and you start to roll it back and you do the research, yeah, they came up a lot of them come out of South Africa and that kind of Nazi kind of mindset. So this whole idea of the, what do they call themselves? One person called them the PayPal Mafia, refers to a group of former PayPal employees and founders who went on to establish significantly contribute to numerous successful technology companies after PayPal acquisition was bought by eBay. When eBay purchased them, I forgot how much, billions of dollars eBay paid for PayPal. The group is known for the influence on Silicon Valley and beyond, with other members involved in companies like LinkedIn, SpaceX, YouTube, Yelp. I mean, I could go on the amount of companies, everything that we kind of, it's almost like the 9 areas of people activity. You understand what I'm saying? The companies that these individuals own, all right, shaped and mold our lives. Now it's about to shape and mold the country's defense, on how the country defends itself, simply because Siddiqui Bakari talks about on the West Coast, transhumanism. They're trying to morph machines with human beings, to the point where they don't need human beings anymore. These are technocrats who feel that engineers and people in technology should run governments instead of governments, instead of politicians, instead of presidents and governors and mayors. They think engineers should run governments. And I think that's a hell of a thing, because when you saw this man being interviewed,
Mm-hmm.
he was asking a basic, simple question. Do you think that the human race should exist? He had a problem with answering that question.
Wow.
Roll your
Let's.
mind back to his history in South Africa, and you see why the people in South Africa, our brothers in South Africa, suffered the way they did. That's that mindset. They don't even consider you human. But I'm sorry, go on.
Mm. Let's get to the next. I got a caller back here. Sile 44. Are you there, my brother?
Yes, sir. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good. What's going on? What's your question or comment for Professor Griff?
Yeah, yeah. What's up, Griff, bro? How you doing,
Peace.
bro?
Peace. How you feel, my
Um,
bro?
yes, sir. Okay, I just want to make a comment, bro. I'm from North Carolina, by the way. Um, and I just wanted to go back because I just heard what Griff just said. I mean, he really broke that down real good. I wasn't aware of all that, but I wanted to go back to what we were talking about earlier about this Essence Fest and the disconnect that we've had over the years, even when Public Enemy in their heyday or anything when it was dealing with knowledge up north. Okay, up north, a lot of brothers were getting into a other type of a knowledge that was going more diaspora, going more to like outer space and things like that, where the roots are really like down south, right? So we was having a disconnect and a disrespect that really we've had to pull back our brothers and up north back closer to us, back closer to our roots. That is our essence. Now, this stuff that they're doing out there in Essence Fest is no more than another divide. See, we're coming together all around the United States now. And that delineation movement that you're talking about, it's not a game, man. You understand? See, all this 5%er and all this other stuff that brothers were talking about, now they're abandoning it, right? They start talking about God is this, God is that, the black man this and the black man that over the years, but now they cannot stand on the very thing that they were teaching when they used to come down south and talk about stuff. Because see, there's a song called The Night Train that Public Enemy wrote, right? This is Grip Group. They talking about the night train. Beware the night train. Because his face looking just like yours, right? Now, these people that's looking just like you and got the same face like you, what's the problem here? If we supposed to understand that knowledge then why we can't understand it now? See, the what you want to call it, the so-called celebrities now can't lose that audience when that audience essence was us from the beginning. See, that was really talking down on the South. That really was talking bad about our brothers down south and our cousins and our family up north because they thought they were better because they were sitting around there looking at buildings that the white man and them had got, but they done sold that stuff. The Indians sold out, the black man sold out all that stuff up there in New York. But they want to take this thing to space. The roots are here. Your cousins, your family are down south.
Mm.
This where we at. Now that knowledge done flipped. Now we got the knowledge and y'all don't. And you
Okay,
lost it
let me.
because you were reaching out to all those people all over the world talking about all of this stuff when really your family was here all the time. The delineation is delineation back to the roots. We the roots. Y'all our family up there. Y'all confused with these celebrities, man. This is
Who,
not about celebrities. Y'all
so
don't got family down south?
who are you
Let's not
speaking
get
about?
let's not get it twisted. Where grandma house at? Where's the cookout at? If you're
All
talking
right.
about slaves, you're
Hey,
talking
hey,
about
hey, brother,
HBCUs,
brother, do you want to
all
direct
that
what?
stuff here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you direct what you're saying to a question so we can understand you better? Because
What I'm saying,
yeah,
oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna
yeah,
get off.
put it in question form. If you could just put it in question form, and then Griffa, that'll be great because you got a lot. You saying a lot. Could you just sum it up in a question if you can, my brother?
Well, and tell you the truth, it ain't even really at Griff. Because Griff understands. I've
Hmm.
seen Griff say stuff like this to other people. He's straight on it. The confusion, like I told you from the beginning, is the disconnect. It's not really a question.
Okay.
So the disconnect that we're having with essence, which I was saying, because that's what y'all was talking about earlier. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
but the disconnect is with them. We're trying to appease people, trying to appease essence when they have not created anything. Those people are like from Africa. They're from Africa. They're trying to get us to understand them. We don't need to understand them. We have been open armed to Essence and everything. Bro said he went there. He said he been at the Essence Fest before. Most black people ain't been to the Essence Fest. We don't need to go. Look, bro, we don't sell what we create because we do it by nature. That's
Mm,
why a lot
I
of
like
our
that. I
people,
like that, brother. I like that. Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead. I like
see,
that.
a lot of our people do not look. Black people don't create stuff to sell it. It comes from our very, very existence. That's why when we create stuff, it don't have a name. It only get a name when people try to make music. I'm trying to make money off of it. When we create hip hop, when we create jazz and all that
Mhm.
stuff come from us just hanging around, just being our family. That stuff is created. These people can't do this stuff, man. They've never done it. They can't do it. The
What?
Caribbean can't do it. The
What?
Africa can't do it. Jamaica can't do it. None of them have ever done it. These people come over here to go to school. Look, they come over here to go to school off something we do
Can I,
by nature.
can I ask
So
him
when you
something?
say that God thing, there it is. We do it by nature. They do it by coming over here, trying to find out. When they used to go way back in the days when they was going to ancient Kemet and all that stuff studying. Look, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and look here, bro, you know this. He said this stuff is coming from the West. That's where the end at. So if we talking about this stuff for real, that's why people are delineating. Look, they have been taught a certain kind of thing when our brothers were teaching up top. Griff was a part of this. You probably was too. We was connecting a different sort of science to to our very basic essence here. But they were trying to appease the people of color up top. That's okay. But it can't happen anymore. It can't happen like that no more because we're connected up. We're connected from the south up top to the west coast to the Midwest, everywhere now. So this delineation move, which I'm telling you, I'm from North Carolina, bro. I'm telling you, my mother is 84 years old. She's like that. She understands this. She don't need a whole lot of explanation because she feels bad about the way people are doing too. These people that come here, they know they come in here and they don't really want to sacrifice like that. They don't want to sacrifice. When they hear Public Enemy back in the day, they hear all that stuff. They heard what they were saying. They taught a lot. A lot of people taught a lot of things. But you always got to go and get back to the roots. We're the roots. These people are just benefiting off of it. That's it.
All right,
And they
brother.
say that,
You
yes,
listen,
sir, bro.
I
I can
really
come on.
appreciate no, I really appreciate your call. It took me a little while to understand your angle, where you was coming from, but
Yes,
I definitely appreciate you contributing to the
yes,
show.
sir.
Let me allow Griff to respond, brother, but I definitely appreciate the call, my brother.
No doubt.
All right,
Okay.
peace, brother. All right, Griff, what do you think about what the brother said?
I didn't.
Long-winded.
I didn't understand what he said. You got to explain it to me, please do. I'm open. Explain it to me.
Oh man, I wish I wanna. I'm not gonna do it the way that brother broke it down. I'm not gonna do it justice, Griff. I'm not going. I'm
I
not.
don't so what do you think he was saying about what's the disconnect?
He's still on the line. Matter of fact, let me ring. Brother, you still there?
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to
Quick,
cut it off, but I might have
you
did
can
it
ask,
on
you
my
can ask
phone.
the brother right here, Griff. Go ahead,
What?
Griff.
Yeah, I tried to stop
You
him so I
you
could ask him, but what is the disconnect that you talk about? Because I wrote something down. You mentioned the 5 percenters used to talk about
yeah.
God and God that, and they don't do that anymore. Or you said something about the yeah.
Oh,
I'm confused. I don't understand. I'm lost.
what
I don't.
I'm saying is when you go through teachings and you're learning things when you up top, up north or whatever, and you're going through things, you're learning these lessons. You're learning who God is, you learning who the devil is, you learn who the white man is, you learn who these other people are. But now with the Festival and all this stuff and everything that happened in hip hop, all that stuff right there is on a basic level now. You don't need to talk in such broad terms and start talking about things like that. Our people, those people that y'all were talking about, are here.
Okay, so
That greatness is
let
here.
me before you
That
get going,
greatness is here.
bro, before you get going again, those people, what people are you talking about are here? I'm just trying to
Talking
follow
about the
you.
black man. I'm talking about the black. Look, if they doing something with the
Bro,
Essence Festival, like you said, that
do me a favor. Just calm down a little so I can understand you. Okay, that's all. Just I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to follow you. All right. So talk to me.
you asked about the knowledge, bro, and why I think that there was a disconnect. I think that there's a disconnect because up top, a lot of people deal with more way out their science, and they think they smart when this stuff is basic now.
Okay. So let me
Because
let me
the
let me
people,
let me let
the
me let me
people
speak.
that are backing,
Can I
go
speak to
ahead.
that? Can I speak to
Yeah,
that? Okay.
sure.
Have you ever lived up north, up top?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, you never went back home
Never went back home to where?
to wherever you're
North
from. You said
Carolina?
right, North Carolina, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you what happens in most families with black people that have moved from the south to up north. We always go back to the south. That migration that migrated to the north come from the south, and my mom's mom was just chasing jobs on how to make money, freedom, whatever it was. You understand what I'm saying? We weren't uppity or bougie because we came up around buildings. We always came back down south every single summer. My mama said, "You going down south with your grandmama." You understand what I'm saying? That was a normal occurrence for us. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that when that particular knowledge came to us, of course, it came Chicago, Detroit, and other places. Then we just took a hold to it, but we never forgot about down south. You understand what I'm saying? All of us come by way of the south.
Yeah, I feel, and brother, I want to get to the next call. I appreciate you calling in, but I feel what he's saying with that, with the whole up north thing, Griff. A lot of brothers from up north feel like brothers and sisters from down south are slower than what we are, even with the way the music and the way they make their hip hop in comparison to the way we make our hip hop, which is way more cerebral. They're more with the rhythm. They're way more with the beat. They have a different flow with it, with how they make their music. So I see where the brother's coming from. I see. Like I said, it took me a little while to understand him, and I'm from New York, but I can see where the brother's coming from. Listen, brother, we gonna keep moving. Thanks for staying on and then fully explaining yourself, my brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I think somebody said he has a point. Yeah, he definitely has a point. I think the way he conveyed it threw some people off, but I see what he was talking about. I grew up where a lot of my peers assume people from down south was slower than what we were up north. So I definitely see where the brother was coming from with that.
Okay, so if
Professor.
that's what he was saying, then he's absolutely 1,000% correct. Because growing up, I thought that about my country ass cousins in West Virginia. I'm like, man, y'all slow as fuck. You understand what I'm saying?
But the question, would you admit, was you wrong in thinking that? As you look back at it now, what do you think, Griff?
No,
Because
I was wrong. They just did things different.
different, yeah, and I realized so. But I agree. They just do things different. I agree. Thank you, yeah, Griff. Yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah,
had to go back down south to learn how to fish.
yeah.
I had to go back down south to learn some basic. So what he was
Yeah,
saying, if that's what he was saying, then he's correct. Yeah,
yeah. You say that.
some basic things. But the basic things to someone down south in 2025, yes, yeah, it's kind of like some basic things in New York. If you come to New York, there's some basic things you better know.
Yeah, indeed.
Boston, Philly, Chicago, Detroit. Yeah, even all of us going to the West Coast, there's some basic things that we should know on how to move. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to that brother. I finally understood what the brother was conveying, and I think the brother definitely added an important topic, an important aspect of what we're talking about tonight on this topic. Let's keep it moving. I see I think that's King Simon in the chat. Let me add King Simon in here. King, what's going on, my brother?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
yes, we
sir.
hear you.
Good, good. Hey, the brother was making some sense, especially from the South. My family from Jamaica and Cuba, we didn't have a lot of in the countries, we didn't have a lot of light or inventions, so to speak, like Griff was talking about. We had to learn how to make our own lanterns. We had to learn how to make our own spears to go and fish underwater. We
Right.
had to learn to make our own goggles. So when that brother was saying what he was saying, that some of the up top, because I'm born in New York, so I'm going back and forth to the Caribbean or going to Canada. So I'm experiencing three levels of the
Wow.
Americas. I'm
Yeah,
not just very America. And I was
Right.
into hip hop too. I was into hip hop and reggae and Canadian music and French Canadian music and Jamaican music and mento and soca and calypso. So I experienced a whole bunch of experiences. So when I went into the mountains of Jamaica, where the Maroons and the Arawak was had to defend themselves, we remember a lot of that stuff that we learned from making our own shoes. And although a shoemaker can be considered an inventor over here in the mainstream America, we had to invent our own ways of walking. Sometimes we walked barefooted till our foot bottom got hard, so our foot bottom became leather-like
Damn.
to be able to move through those marshes and move through those lands.
Damn.
And then we look at our feet and say, okay, we need to put something on that. And we created use the hemp or use leaves and started producing things for our feet. So this is innately in all of us. That's why
Right.
I don't claim one island. I don't claim one continent. If the earth is our throne and we rule the whole entire universe with it, that's what I claim. Because it
Right.
says we are who is the original man.
That's right.
Period. Not the
Right.
Caribbean or the American or the African, who is the original man
Right.
all over the planet. So, I don't get to. It gets divisive sometimes because everybody want to, and I respect that people want to claim FBA or claim that, but we got to respect that if that is the movement to separate us from and getting us into calling each other tethers and getting into arguments, that's the problem. Because you can't. And even in Jamaica, a lot of the Antilles radio stretched so far that we was able to listen to American music. We was able to listen to what was happening in England, Germany. That's how big the AM radio, ham radio, like Aton was talking about, the AM radio was, that we was able to pick up on things. And we already know the brain is a transmitter and a receiver.
That's right.
So we picked up on just like America picked up on the warrior ship of Haiti when there was none of that stuff.
Right.
Louisiana, everybody picked it up. We also picked it up in different parts of the world when we started doing these revolutionary movements. So we got to remember, don't negate the energetic transmitter and receiver of the brain. We keep on forgetting. Going back to essence, what is the essence that
Right.
we need? Because that's why it was named essence. The
And
essence of who? The
that's
essence of
what
all reality, which is woman,
that's
the
what I asked
black
earlier.
woman.
Why do they even call it essence? Right.
Why call it essence?
But listen,
Essence of what?
let me say something. I was a teenager when I found out there were some people still enslaved. They kind of like didn't know.
Exactly.
You, you understand what I'm saying? And I was a teenager. I was like, nah, get out of here. Ain't nobody no slave no more. You understand what I'm saying? That was just my
Exactly.
ignorance. But until I got knowledge itself and I learned that I was like, oh, okay.
It,
All of
it,
us get
it,
to that point where we got to humble ourselves. And it's like,
in,
okay,
in actuality, Griff, America that we are here from California all the way to New York or to the east or the west is Central America if people are real.
right,
And then Canada is North America. And then the Caribbeans and South America is all of South America.
right,
That's all Americas. So how we got Big Mama over there understood Big Mama over in Central America and Big Mama in Nova Scotia of Canada. We
right,
understood that connection. But now we want to, and I want them to claim it. I want, if it's about getting reparation, whatever they're going to do, go ahead and do it. Just like CARICOM is doing what they got to do to get it. Everybody needs to get it. But at the end of the day, what we going to do with it? Are we going to unite and work together to make it happen? Work? Let's make it work. I
right.
want it to work. I can't hear you on mute, Rich. You on mute.
Sorry, I was on mute. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I want to ask you this, and you specifically because you're from the Caribbean, Jamaica.
My parents, right?
What? Yeah, right. Why do you think CARICOM doesn't get the criticism that Black Americans get for fighting for reparations from
In the beginning, we did. They did. They did get the big criticism. I mean, to the
from
point
who?
that
Who do they get criticism from?
from Britain,
No, no, no.
Britain,
I'm not talking about from Britain or from white people. I'm talking about from Black people in the diaspora. Nobody Black and American criticized CARICOM for what they were doing. Let me just give an example, a modern day example. This is where I'm confused, King Simon. I'm glad we're having this conversation. We can have this conversation. If let's say Ibrahim Traore, is that the brother name? I want to pronounce it right.
Ibrahim Touré.
Yeah, Ibrahim Traore. If he, let's say he was fighting for reparations for his country, and he managed to successfully
Right.
get reparations from whoever colonized and took over his country. Black people in America would literally have parades celebrating what the hell is going on over there because they know it will trickle down over there, over here. We would know that. We will literally be celebrating just like we what we did for other people such as Bob Marley, the brothers and sisters in Ethiopia, South Africa with apartheid, where we look at their rights as our rights. My confusion, King Simon, is I know for a fact people will celebrate. I know Blue Pill will be
Right.
celebrating as well as a lot of other Caribbeans will be celebrating, and Black Americans will be celebrating what's happening with Ibrahim Traore and his ability to get reparations. The issue is, if we give reparations over here, people are going to be mad in the diaspora.
I don't.
People,
I
I've,
don't think so.
I've had people on the show. Blue Pill oppose reparations over here. For he has a disposition.
Really,
So
I
he's
didn't even
against
know that.
reparations. Yeah, he's been
Wow.
on the show plenty of times, but not just him. Plenty of people. What's her name? Infinite Goddess. She called in. She called in the show before.
Right.
Says she feels as though it's a distraction.
Right.
Talking about reparations.
Right.
So people from overseas are like, "Yo, that's a distraction." And I'm just,
You,
I don't care what anybody thinks because I'm gonna do me.
let me say this, Rich.
Confuses me
Let me say
sometimes.
something real. You know what? Because in Jamaican music now, the most rebel of the music, it loves for Africa and the destruction of Babylon. Because we
Yeah.
know if Babylon got destroyed, maybe our Black American brothers will stand up. Because Babylon is a mentality.
Hmm.
That's what they're talking about. Babylon is the mentality of European control. That's
Hmm.
why they always taught against and wanted to celebrate the destruction of Babylon, because then the black men in America will wake up more. That's why in Marcus Garvey's book, he says the black men and women of America are the blueprint, but the Babylonian mentality has to fall.
Hmm.
That's what has to fall, to tell you, because a lot of our brothers and sisters here in the America has taken on, as much as they call other people tethers, they become tethers to Europeans. If you're real and honest about it, because we're not growing out, we're not owning our own hospital, we're not doing what the messenger taught us, or what even Garvey tried to tell us, or what Booker T and them tried to tell us. We're not even doing that here. And I'm saying we because I was born here and raised majority here. just going back and forth. But I understood more deeper when the Caribbean people used to come over here, because just like Griff said, his family used to come up from down south to come and get more money and make money up here. The same thing my family did, because the promotion of America was so big. Come back, let's go to America where milk and honey and everything. What you think England came over, and why old England came over here to establish and get into America? Because they was taught that there's people that had goals on their wrists and everything was here. The promotion is big.
That's
To come
interesting.
to go and take back or learn or be a part of this mass movement, because no little island could hold King Simon. No little continent could hold King Simon. I have to be all over the world.
But King, I want you to answer if you can. I want to get your opinion because you're from the islands. Why are so many people upset at Black Americans' attempt at reparations? Black people. I'm not talking about white people. Black people.
Right.
I just
But
want to know from you directly.
especially
Why do you think
Caribbeans,
so many people,
Caribbeans,
especially Caribbeans? Yes.
Caribbeans have never been really upset about reparations. We always promoted reparations, always, more than most of the music here in America. If you're honest, every song that Bob Marley and all of them sang was about reparation for the diaspora of Black people, not just one.
Right.
That's
Okay. So I think you answered it without answering it.
oh,
I'm not talking about the diaspora. I'm talking about Black Americans fighting for reparations, specifically for Black Americans, because this is where we're at. I'm talking about Ibrahim Traore fighting for reparations, specifically where he's at.
right.
I think the problem is, and I think you said it without saying, is that we're fighting for reparations specifically for where we're at.
That's
And
right.
I feel as though Caribbeans want us to fight for reparations for everybody. Am I correct, King?
No, I don't. I don't feel you're correct. And I think you're half correct. Caribbeans definitely want to emancipate themselves from quote unquote English rule or British rule, just like Barbados did. And
Mm,
Barbados, the prime minister is getting hell from that
mm,
because she emancipated herself. And we would want to see, because if everybody started emancipating themselves from who ruled us or who came and colonized us in any way, whether he was indigenous here, then I think America, it would be a big revolution. It would be bloody, like Malcolm said.
mm.
And I know, for personally talking to Rastas and being in the Rasta community or being in the reggae community, they always want to see Black people in general be free. But we started with people in that country first, because Jamaica always wanted to fight against that. Trinidad always wanted to fight against that. You had those type of prime ministers. But there's a very few, and I think, Rich, what's happening, I don't know who you talking to, but I know from the circles that I've talking to, Rastas want to see America free and do their own thing also, especially the Rasta community, especially those that have been promoting that. I don't know about everybody else, but I know personally that they want to see America free from that madness or the Babylonian mentality. If Griff understand where I'm coming from, please join in.
No. I understand exactly where you're coming from, but I'm getting the reparations, bro. You
That's
understand what I'm
it.
saying?
Go for it.
My country cousin in Africa and in the Caribbean islands, chill
Yeah.
for a minute. We got you, but we're gonna get this. Let us get this first. We
And,
got you
and,
though. We're
and
not gonna
Griff, you've
forget
been
about
talking about it for years. Griff, you've been talking about it. If I remember you talking about, if we get it, what are they gonna do with it?
you. Yeah.
What? If your mind ain't right, it ain't gonna happen. You're gonna give it right back to these motherfuckers. For real. We're gonna give it right back to these people, part of my language. We're gonna
Yeah.
give it right back to these. So that's why Elijah tried to set up a government. Marcus Garvey tried to set up. People try to set up a government to say, "Hey, we got to know what we're gonna do with it if we do get this thing, because we will get it, because they're falling every day. So we
Every
will
day they're
get it."
falling. Yeah, we'll
And I
get it.
want y'all to get it. I want y'all to get it just like I want Karen come and get it, just like I want Ibrahim. You know, they offered to do a whole major concert in support of Ibrahim. Ibrahim said, "No, we ain't got no time for concert and performance and show. We ain't got no time for that." Because remember, it was the artists and entertainers that came in as spies. Who was one of those people? Was it Dorothy Dandridge that was a spy, or one of them? I forgot who was a spy back in the day.
No. In the soundtrack to the coup d'état, the film, they brought artists over, but some of them artists didn't even know what they were doing. Nina
Exactly.
Simone and some other artists went over there to perform, but they didn't know that they were supposed to bring back the information. So when they were interviewed, they were saying this is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah,
They
and
made
they
them
go.
wait for the CIA to come in, but they didn't know. Unbeknownst to them, You know,
The CIA come in as tech engineers and electrical
exactly.
clowns and circus people and all that. That's how they come. That's where the spies lie, in those entertainment world.
Yeah.
So Ibrahim said, "Nah, we don't want that. We respect what y'all want to bring here, but nah."
I, I'll put the name of the film in the chat. It's the soundtrack to the coup d'état. Check out
Coup
that
d'etat.
film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to the coup d'etat. Yeah, I remember that one.
And I wanna be transparent in this show, and I want us to have a real conversation. I'm just curious, King Simon. Let's say, and I want you to be honest as well about your feelings, because I want us to understand each other and our experiences. And it's beyond us being in America and somebody being from other land. It's as small as us being from the north and brothers from down south, like the caller just said. The
Exactly.
caller just said brothers from New York
Yep.
was arrogant with their shit, and we
And
was.
yep.
I do feel like I'm from New York.
Yep.
I do feel like we thought the brothers from down south was slow. I do. I will admit that.
And I did too.
And,
No, when I was going to Jamaica, they thought I was arrogant too. When I was going to Jamaica, they thought I was arrogant too.
so yeah, I think it's nothing wrong with us being honest about wrong thought patterns we may have had about each other. My idea of a black farmer when I was 20 versus my idea of a black farmer now is like, oh, that nigga, he's God. Like, wow, that brother is, wow, that's amazing. Back then, I was like, man, I ain't on no mother effing farm. I'm from the city. I just go to the supermarket, and it was so ignorant, Griff. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
so ignorant for me to
Me
think
too.
like that.
Me too.
So,
Me
so
too.
with that being said, I want to ask, do you think, King, say black Americans give reparations, say Brother Rich and Griff, say we get a check each for, let's say, 200, a quarter million, 250,000. Would you feel a certain way inside, being that you spent your whole life in this country and you're watching somebody who may have had roots, deeper roots in this country, get a quarter million? Would you feel a way that you didn't get a quarter million and we got a quarter million? Do you think that would make you feel a certain way inside? Be honestly speaking.
Honestly, yes, it would, but then I would understand a little deeper because y'all did fight for it. Just like I said, I wish CARICOM would get it because then I know I have access to that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but yeah, of course, because we living right next to the door each other.
right. And then, yeah.
But I know that some of the people probably book sessions for me. You know, what I'm saying? If I go support me after that, buy my product, I'm loving it. Because now a lot of what happens is that when things like that happen, how do people that's still here or born here, first generation Americans from Jamaica, benefit from that? Provide services that can also help them to advance what they're doing, advance what the money that they're spending. So you come and do a numeration session after you get $200, $2,500, $25,000 from the government because of reparation. You might say, "Yo, no, King, I got it now. Yo, I can help you out. Give you some." Yo, that's what's gonna happen. We need to support and think like that. Yo, we're gonna buy some farmland. Yo, King, you still know how to make those spares, or you still know how to grow some food. I can help you out in that way. That's how we got to learn how to be able to, instead of getting angry with each other. In order for y'all to get reparation anywhere, you have to have certain laws in place. You have to have certain government in place. You have to have certain sovereignty in place. You have to have some things in place, no doubt. So a true man will feel a way, a true woman will feel a way, but yet they need to learn to understand and how to adapt and say, you know what? It's about time. That means if American blacks can get it, then everybody should be able to get it. If one man eat, we should all eat.
I appreciate your honesty, King. Just like I was honest about New York and down south, I appreciate your honesty. Professor Griff, did you want to say something before I get to this next call?
No. I was just kind of following along, but
All
I
right.
agree with what you're saying, and I respect the fact that King Simon answered in a real way, and I respect you
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
asked the question and you wanted him to be real honest. Like,
yeah, yeah,
what would you feel inside? And I just wanted to say, I got relatives in Africa and the Caribbean islands, so
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah, no, come on, I got y'all my people, we blood. So
yeah.
you understand
As
what I'm
long as
saying?
they're doing something right with it. As long as they're doing something right with it, man, and and,
I'm
and
not
y'all
putting it in
y'all
their
willing to help
pocket
other
now.
people.
We could build something. You could be a part of it. I ain't gonna
Exactly.
dish out no money like that. No.
Because
My dude Caribbean island. He smoked too much goddamn weed. I'm like, nah, bro.
But
Nah.
Rich, but Rich,
I'm not handing out no money.
at, and like
Nah.
Rich, at the end of the day, you might go back to Honduras and get some more cigars or
Cigar-
more tobacco.
Exactly.
You might buy
Exactly.
bananas and mangoes from us and all that. That's what we
Yeah.
need to do. That's what we need to do. Damn
Yeah.
that. Let me say one more thing before I get off and get back in the chat and
Yes, sir.
post Griff's thing. Let me tell you something. Even the international dish of Jamaica is not from Jamaica. Ackee and
Mm.
saltfish is not from Jamaica. Would you please stop thinking that's Jamaican? That's an
Wow.
international. That's not the dish of Jamaica. Ackee was imported just like saltfish was imported. And we calling it our international dish. That means we're supporting somebody else to bring this ackee. And then we started planting it and started growing it. And that's what we need to do if so we can keep the trade going so we don't have to owe the MF or the what they call it, the IMF. Let's
Right.
work with our melanated people of America and let's do what we got to do throughout the Caribbean. We have herbs in Grenada. That's why it's called the Spice Island. All the most of the spices you're getting is from Grenada and those places. Go get it.
Right.
That's what we need to do because we still need each other in some way. It's not just here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But let me get back in the chat. Y'all do y'all thing. All
All right.
right.
All
Love
right.
you. Love
All
you,
right.
Griff. Peace.
Peace, man. Peace, good bro.
You hear my voice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see
Get
y'all
your
later.
boy. Drink some tea, my brother.
Yeah, I got my honey right here. All
All
right.
right.
Peace,
All right.
peace and love.
Peace. Shout out to King Simon. I appreciate the honesty from King, and I just want
Yeah.
us to have these honest conversations with each other so we can understand each other. Let me get to Empress real quick, because Empress been on hold for a while. Empress 444, are you there, my sister?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes. How you doing?
Peace,
Yeah,
peace
yeah.
and love, everyone.
All
Peace.
right.
Peace. Peace.
Do-
Yes, it's a pleasure. This is actually my first time ever going on the show, at least speaking. I know you've seen me in the audience for
yeah,
quite some time,
yes, yes, yes.
but I love you all. I'm glad you're having this conversation tonight in regards to the Essence Festival.
Hmm.
I was wondering, were you going to touch on this topic? So, yeah, I'm actually glad you're having it.
What's your
Now,
thoughts? You got a
my
question?
thoughts,
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
My thoughts on the festival is what they tried this year. They really tried it in the right state, okay, of Louisiana. And I love that they tried it there because it set precedent to open the eyes to everyone in America.
Mm,
Now, the Essence Festival since 95, if you can remember back to 95, you know the vibe, okay? It was a top level tier of a culture that had been totally remorphed and really brought to life a new essence of value of what it meant to have a collective of everything that's in you, no matter where you are in America. And Essence represented that. And it came through the soulfulness of our music, our creations, and how it is we received the music that was indigenous and created on these lands. And it didn't come from any other place but soul, the soul of the people, the spirit of the people, the blood of the people here in America. And, you know, the realness of it is we have so much of our ancestors in us when we come on our indigenous land and be exactly who it is that we are, it's infectious to everyone outside of America because they see a little piece, just little pieces of themselves in us, but it's not the full recipe. It's not what is here in America. So, Essence in itself was very misleading to the people who have been very much so welcoming, loving, honoring of the magazine itself. All right. because we know you had to have Essence R, a jet on your coffee table. All right. It's what we know as a people. So it's trusted. It's trusted. And when you misuse someone's trust for the dollar, you know what it feels like to be sold out by your people. Okay. You can't escape that feeling because we've been sold over and over and over and over again. And no matter how you want to camouflage it or make it seem as if it's a what we would call a gumbo in Louisiana, all right, you cannot come with your spices and sprinkle them all in the pot and think we're going to sit down and enjoy the bowl.
Right.
So, if I have to explain it on that level, and I understand, it's like I understand every scale of what it is. Even Simon said, the man from North Carolina, I'm a country girl, but I'm also raised in California. And yeah, I mean, being bi-coastal as a child, I had to learn to speak a certain way in California. But when I'm back home, we French Creole, okay?
Mhm.
You know? So I understands all of it in a pot, but you cannot say that one thing that we have, the only thing that we actually have that brings us all together on a native land, Louisiana, where some of those wild Indians are there. They ain't never left. They ain't never went nowhere. Okay, you can't put us on the front of your magazine in our headdress. Okay, and then get us to the dome, and that's not what time it is. And they also had, they said they had Buster Rhymes there, and they was about to, hurt his feelings. Okay, you know, I mean, you people know who they are. We know who we are. Okay, we know our tribes, and if you know your ancestry, how dare you? Okay, so I don't have a problem with anyone but the person who sold out the people. Okay, because that's exactly what they did. They sold out the people, and it makes you not want to support. We know that the woman had ties with Target, and we know about the boycotting of Target being tied in with it. It was so much to it. I wasn't there personally, but I know if I had a saw some dirty rice and some jollof rice, a competition, okay, because this is what was said that was there, a literal competition between jollof rice and dirty rice. You on the wrong land for that. This ain't where you supposed to be with that, because we could never take that anywhere else and sell a ticket or nothing else for it. And they tried it. They really tried it. And I'm so glad that they tried it in Louisiana because, baby, it's not going down. Not in Louisiana. And you did it in New Orleans too? Uh-uh. So that's really my take on all of that. I love you
Baby,
all.
baby, how y'all say baby down there? How y'all?
I, I'm just saying,
I
I,
love the accent. No.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we can't do it anywhere else. And I'm gonna tell you like this. Also, being a Cali girl, okay, they could come if we had Essence in California, it would be successful. That's the difference I'm trying to make to you. It would be successful because out here, the culture is not what it is back home.
Indeed.
And
Hey.
like Professor Griff said, we go back home.
Right.
We go back home. And when
Hmm.
we go back home, none of the stuff we was popping, okay, was even being
Yeah, you breaking up right now, Empress.
Yeah, I can finish that sentence
Yeah,
for him.
yeah.
None of the stuff we was popping up in New York mean anything once you go back down south, because you
Yeah.
still gotta hit the reset button. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm,
Yeah, and like I said to you, we weren't uppity. We didn't look down on them. They just kind of did things kind of different. You understand what I'm saying? Everything
mm,
from the dress to everything else. Yeah. But I know one thing, sister's right. We carried the recipes to New York. I know that. Because my
mm.
mama cooked the same thing my grandmother was cooking, man. We carried that. I know that. Because we
Indeed.
wanted to survive. And
Mm,
we
mm,
did what we had to do, including you. When you came up, you adjusted and had know how to move in New York.
mm,
It's just
mm.
a way that you just have to know how to move. Am I right or wrong?
No, indeed, yeah.
You went to the goddamn bodega or the Jamaican spot. You got the beef patty with the with the cocoa bread if you was hungry, because it didn't cost a lot. You got you a drink, and that was it. You know how to move.
Yeah.
You weren't going hungry. I got me some chips, a soda. You understand what I'm saying? Damn near, that was damn near the meal. That was lunch.
Mm,
So you
indeed.
just gotta know how to move. Now in the country, in the South, they ain't have no corner store where my
Right.
grandparents were from West Virginia on the side of a damn mountain, some damn where. You can't just walk to the damn store. It's a
Right.
different way you got to move in New York. So what the sister's saying is absolutely correct.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, I wanna yeah, I think we might do one more call, then we're gonna get out of here. I don't want to keep Griff on too long tonight. Had a great show. Let me share the link one more time. I'm glad I got y'all input. Let me share this link one more time. Yeah, we might take one more call from the
Yeah,
people in the chat. If you want to come on live with me and Professor Griff, click on that link that's in the chat and come on in. We having a great conversation tonight. A conversation that ain't going nowhere. Like I said, the word divisive has been weaponized, just like the word anti, you know
right.
what. And there's certain conversations that you just couldn't can't ignore, but for so long. And this is a conversation that ain't going nowhere. It's definitely needed. And shout out to everybody who's been bringing up the history of the indigenous people in America. I see the Duke of Tears, Rod Hayes, um, we got Asita Ducateers, we got Rod Hayes, we got Chief Top Cats, we got Tariq Nasheed, we got who's the brother that Dane Calloway, and they don't all get along with each other, but they all bringing different elements to the table. But let's get to the last call. We got Ascending Infinite Goddess. What's going on, Ascending Infinite Goddess?
Peace, peace. Hold on. There we go. There's a little light.
All right,
Peace, peace. How y'all doing?
all
Peace,
right.
peace. How are you?
Professor Griff, just real quick. We found an old CD, and I was like, I got to send this to him in Telegram and let him see that I peeped
Okay.
y'all. I love y'all so much.
Oh,
But
good thing.
as far as you all know, as mentioned, I was born here in the States, but both my parents are Caribbean.
Mhm,
So I'm not what you would call foundational black. But
mhm.
as I was just explaining to a sister of mine, we are all united in this disproportionate disarrangement, disruption of our culture. And
Right.
although we may have good intentions of wanting to build the identity of Americans here in this country, because a lot has been withheld, that doesn't mean that we have to be divided and that we have to be torn apart. Like, at the end of the day, everyone went through trauma. Jamaicans, a lot of trauma in the slave trade. A lot of that. That's where buck breaking came from. So it's not a matter of if you're not foundational black, then you shouldn't have this or you shouldn't have that. Because
Right.
just because someone else's trauma isn't the same as yours, that doesn't mean it's not valid. But what we need to remember is by asking and begging for reparations or permission for anything, or even saying with the Essence Fest, oh, you're showing other cultures and you're not standing on the cultures that really started this event, you are disproportionately cutting yourself out from the bigger picture. You are stifling your own self. And you are always stronger when you are together. When you divide yourself and you go into conflict and then you go begging other people for things to give you freedom, that's going to keep you in the horrible loop that got you stuck here in the first place. So today, right now, if you don't like what someone is doing, you have to you don't have to participate. I know the lineup was presented before you went to Essence Fest. I know that things were laid out before you chose to go out there. There are so many other Black music festivals that are happening that would appreciate our support. But in this day and age, you have choices. And when you're ignorant, you are choosing to be ignorant because there's so much information out there. I didn't come from a rich background. I grew up in a single mother household. I had oppression from religion, and I had to overcome a lot of things. I had an abusive marriage. I had all types of stuff going on. I was a teenage mom. I didn't graduate high school. I could easily still be in the hood and in the ghetto. But I chose to rewrite my story. And instead of asking anyone for permission, I took control of my life. So we don't need reparations because everything is out there for you to get. Everything's out there for you to get.
Hey,
You can go
Ascendant,
crypto.
why
Yeah.
why do you keep saying we when you're not foundational to this country? Imagine if I go to your country and I tell,
I
imagine
was
if I
born,
go to,
okay, but hold on.
no, no,
I was
listen,
born
listen,
in
listen. Okay,
I
where your
was born in
parents from?
Florida.
Where your parents from? Ascendant Infinite God. Where your parents from?
My parents are from Jamaica, but I never
All right,
was
so,
raised in
all right,
Jamaica.
so let me say this: you're first generation over here.
Correct.
Imagine if my son, I moved to Jamaica, and then my son is in Jamaica, right? So he's like the first generation that his whole life since 2 years old or whatever is in Jamaica. Imagine if he start telling the Jamaicans, we don't need this, we don't need that. You come across as very arrogant, extremely arrogant. You just got here yesterday and you telling us who been here since the 1817 whatever what we need. Maybe that's what you don't need. But how you gonna tell me what we need? I would never go to your land. This is an honest, and I'm not trying to single you out, but you were so
Right.
bold. You're so bold in what you're saying. Then
Okay.
the energy is going to get returned to you.
Okay.
Why would my son go to Jamaica? And my girl is half Jamaican. My girl is half Jamaican. Why
Okay.
would my son go to Jamaica and tell the Jamaicans, we don't need this, we don't need that? They will kick his black American ass the fuck out of Jamaica. You know that, right?
Here's the
Like,
difference.
who do you think you are coming here telling us what we like? That's crazy. You don't think that? That's the question. You
Okay.
don't think that?
So as I started, Jamaica also had slavery ingrained in the history. What I'm saying is there's opportunities where, and I say we because I was born in America. I
You
was
just
raised
got
in
here
America.
yesterday. You just got here yesterday. You know that, right?
If that's how you want to interpret it. If that's how you want to
Literally,
interpret it,
literally.
that's fine. That's fine. But as I was raised with the history, with the knowledge that I was given, that I overcame the oppression. I came out of the victim mentality. Because again, it wasn't just Americans or Africans that experienced the slave trade. That's what I'm trying to hint at. And if we and on your channel,
Right.
we all are aware of our power, of our ability.
I agree. Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
moving out of the consciousness of they owe us this and they need to give us that, it's the same carrot and stick. It's the same carrot and stick. So if it's been dangled in front of foundational Black Americans, since I can't say us, right? Since it's been dangled in front of foundational Black Americans for years, for eons, then something different has to be done. And in this day and age, we as a humanity, as a collective, have the ability to take control over all of that. Because
Well,
at the
sis,
end of the
you
day, your oppressor is not going to give you your freedom.
I
They're
see
not going
you.
to give you tools.
Okay, okay. I see you. I disagree with you, but I see your point. I see your point.
Okay.
I see where you're coming from.
Fair.
I see where
That's
you're coming
fair.
from. I see where you're coming from. You can't. Your oppressor's not going to give you freedom. You have to take freedom. I see what you come. Griff, you wanna touch on that? Griff.
Sis, you mentioned the fact that the information that on the lineup as far as the Essence Festival was posted somewhere, right? That's what you said?
Yes.
Okay, so listen, sis. When I went down south to go visit and go do some of the things that I do every year when my mom sent me back down, we we didn't go to the bulletin board. There wasn't a flyer. You just go and you go do the damn thing.
Yeah.
98% of the people have been going to the Essence Festival. And that online stuff is new to them. They know
That's
where the
fair.
restaurants are. They know what you understand what I'm saying? And a lot of
Yeah.
times you just get there and you go with the flow. So
Mm-hmm.
they didn't choose the ignorance, sis. They didn't choose to be ignorant. They were doing what they always have done. So if the Essence Festival was going to introduce something new, I said it earlier on the show, it needs to be introduced in such a way where it's gradually done. So we'll know, for example, the first time in my life I ever tried to line dance is when I married someone from New Orleans. I didn't know what the fuck that was. I was from New York. I'm like, what the fuck is this cowboy shit? Fucking at the hoedown. You understand what I'm saying? I thought that shit was lame as hell. Of
Mm,
course, most people from New York is fucking arrogant. We just think we the shit. But I thought that shit was corny.
mm,
You understand what I'm
I agree.
saying? But then when I started learning, I started appreciating it. And at that point, I respected it. I'm like, oh, okay, everybody's not gonna get out there and cut cardboard, tape it to the street, and break dance. They're not gonna do it like we did it in New York. Some people got a line dance.
Yeah.
So I respect it now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but the Essence Festival, I'm humbling saying the Essence Festival was ours. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, cool. A lot of times you don't even go there and hear Jamaican music. Unless it's a DJ that's playing a little set, he might throw some of that in there, but you really don't. It's really black American shit for real. Like, you understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? When there's 1,000 people in the room and Frankie Beverly come on, before I let go. Everybody know what the fuck to do. Do you?
oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
precisely my point. That's all I'm saying. A lot of people coming from Kenya, uh, Tanzania,
Hey,
some of these other places, they may
l-
not know.
hey, Ascendant. Let me give you an American test to see um
Oh,
how
Don't do
this
that.
this
I'm,
has been done on the
Don't
radio.
do that.
I just want to see. I'm sure you'll notice. I'm sure you've been around enough Black Americans. I'm sure you'll notice. But this is a very, very easy one. This has been done on the radio before. But I just want to see how far removed you are from Black American culture. So
Okay.
if I say God is good,
All the time.
now somebody gave you the answer. There's a dude behind you. He gave you
No,
the
I'm
answer.
my husband, but I know the answer. God
Is
is
he
good
Black
all the
American?
time. All
Is
the
he
a
Black?
time,
husband's
God is
supposed to do
good.
that. A husband's supposed to do
That
that.
was
Hey,
that's like a
thank you,
reflex.
husband.
That was like a
Thank you,
reflex
husband.
for him.
He's
But
supposed
I
to do
know it.
that.
No, no, no. I do know that one. Don't do that. Don't
Hey,
shortchange me.
all right, all right. Ascendant Infinite.
But
If you have, listen, if you have yams, macaroni, and potato salad, which dish are you making first?
if I have yams, macaroni, and
Yeah,
potato salad to
you
go
have
in
to
the
make all
fridge.
three.
Potato salad first to go in the fridge. Then the mac and cheese, and then the yams.
You pass both those tests. That means you ain't too far removed from our culture. So I'm trying to see where you
I
come.
told you I
You
was born
answered
in
the
Florida
question
now.
right. All right. I just wanted to see if you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I know it
He
now.
said,
I know it
"Yo,"
now.
she said, "Cause it go in the fridge." Okay, so you know that. All right, you know that. But
Yeah.
I'm just what threw me off real quick, and I definitely appreciate you for calling in all the times you've been on the show. But when you use words like begging, I'm like, damn, this is coming down harsh. There's got to be some. Let me finish this, Queen. There's got to be some level of disdain or vitriol for Black America to use that word because I would never use that word for other
Me
blacks in
either.
the diaspora. I wouldn't use that word. So I'm like, where do you come up? You calling my show
You're
in
right.
America talking about Black Americans using the word begging. So I'm like, Where does
Yeah.
this come from? And then I ask you these questions. You familiar with our culture? You know about the shit. Where is this coming from? Ascending Infinite Goddess.
Is not a disdain at all. When my energy can come off very harsh, so I apologize for anyone that I may have offended. But
Okay.
what I'm saying is sometimes we have to remove ourselves from the story that has been continuously being told. And if you keep, in my mind, begging is just like asking repeatedly, repeatedly, repeatedly. You're not getting any movement. You're getting broken promises, and you keep going. That to me is begging. Not you're down on your feet and stuff like that. So I'm not meaning it in any disrespectful way. And
Mm.
yes, I apologize for that. Like you saw, I was in the
So,
dark. I was chill. I was on my wind down. So I
a
do
symbol
apologize. Yes,
of God,
sir.
God. Listen, there's been a history of struggle
Yes.
and documents and everything and struggle that's been laid out in reference to reparations. So we're not going to keep asking. We've made progress. If you go back to the outstar Kelly House and you take it from her right to now, we made progress. No one
Yes.
said it was going to be easy. You understand what I'm
Correct.
saying? Ibrahim Traore is in a position that he's in because he had to take power, but he had to seize that power at a particular time in history. And a lot
Yes.
of African leaders are following his lead. And I'm gonna be
Yes.
honest with you, he's probably studying some of the things that your parents have studied, Toussaint, Dessalines, and some other people, some other histories. You follow? So all of it's important. I just wanted to say that. And shout out to your husband. He's doing what a husband's supposed to do. I give my
Yeah.
wife the goddamn answer too.
Yes, my
Yo,
husband,
oh
he
man.
he is foundational. But I 100% know it's going to take time, right? You're not going to clear 400, 500 years of
Yeah,
oppression overnight. That's not going to happen. I just came in from Baltimore. I just landed from Baltimore yesterday, and
Mm,
I see the oppression. I see the disdain. I see the story keep being written over and over. I see how the government likes to keep a certain storyline going, setting traps for our
yeah,
people. I see that. I know that. And I feel the history because, Baltimore is a very old city. So I feel it. I feel it in the earth. I feel it in the ley lines. I feel it in the air. I
yeah,
know there's a lot of work to be done, but it all starts with changing the narrative and how it is that we move. And, you know, when reparations do come in whatever shape, weight, or form, it's imperative for our people, the people, my people, is important for everybody to have financial literacy so that the story can continue to evolve and grow so that it's not them checks that we got in 2020
yeah, yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
over.
Hey, listen, we're about to get out of here soon. Ascendant, I appreciate you for calling in, Queen.
Thank you for taking my call, Brother Rich. I love
In,
y'all.
all right,
indeed. Take
take
care. We'll
care.
see you soon. All right. All right, peace. Griff, we about to get out of here, my brother. Another powerful show, much needed show. Controversial topic on the internet, so much back and forth. But like I said, this conversation ain't going nowhere. So I'm glad you came on to discuss it. We got different generations. We got brothers from down south calling us out up north. Everybody's getting called out, Griff. New Yorkers, the Caribbean, Africans, everybody black. Everybody's getting called out. Griff, man, I appreciate you. Any last thoughts on the conversation being had tonight, my brother?
Yeah, I think like you keep saying, and you keep reiterating the fact that it's a necessary conversation that needs to be had, but it's going to take brave individuals that make the sacrifice in order to even have the conversation. But what I can say for all of us that have been on here, including
Mm,
myself,
mm,
we need to be a little bit more respectful and very, very, a little bit more mindful of other people's knowledge and what they're bringing to the table. We all have some learning to do, but I said in the meantime, there's just a level of respect that I got to show everyone. I don't care if you black and foundational this or from another country, but you're black. There's just a level, a human level, brother Rich,
mm-hmm,
of respect that we have to show one another, and we don't know where everyone is at as far as their education is concerned. You understand what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I felt beat up and punched in the ribs as long as that brother was talking, man. I was like, because I didn't understand what he was saying. I was just lost for a minute. I was like, okay, but until you cleared it up, I understood it. And to be honest with you, I understand the emotion. But a
Mhm,
lot of
mhm.
times, even on my show, I get people to just bring it down.
Right,
Let's
right, right,
just
right.
talk.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the first steps. If we could just kind of bring the energy down, turn the temperature down, I think we can talk and understand one another and respect one another. So when the young people are listening to the conversation, we're not always yelling at one another.
Right,
Um,
right.
I see the people on CNN yelling, interrupting one another, talking loud over one another, and that's not how we should be. Like the sister just got off, said Infinite Goddess basically said, "Listen, it's been a long time. You're not going to undo 500 years of this overnight."
Mhm.
But we have made progress. But anyway, I really appreciate you having me on once again. Can I let the people know where to go to get some information, bro?
Indeed, indeed. Go ahead, my brother.
My phone number is 678-557-2919. Anybody that want to text me, they want information, King Simon, just put my information up in the chat. So that's my number. My website is www.professorgriff.me. That's professorgriff.me. Brother Rich, I have a new book coming out. I'm gonna get it to you so you can review it. If you'd like to talk about it, we can do that. It's called The Birth, and it's talking about the birthing song that comes with each individual. For example, what songs do your children know right now? That's
Mm,
been in the home. They hear it in the home. They heard their mom, your wife singing it. You understand? These songs stay with the children their entire lifetime. But the birthing song is different. The birthing song is that song that stays with the individual. And when that individual goes through their stages in life, we
mhm,
sing that song to them and it brings them back to their
mm,
center. You
mm,
understand what I'm saying? Very interesting concept from the women of the Himba tribe in Namibia. I did that research, that study. I formulated a book dealing with sound frequency in reference to the birthing song. So I'm gonna get that to you so we can talk about it. But once again, if people want the resurrection formula or the Serious Minds Brain Tonic, you could go to the website. Can I put the website in the chat?
Indeed. Yes.
www.devitribewellness.com. devitribewellness.com. All right. Soleil told me to tell you peace, good bro. You understand what I'm
Peace. So,
saying?
hey, I want to get the queen back on the show, Griff. Tell her I want to get her back on the show.
Oh, get that. I'll tell him as soon as we get off of here.
Yeah.
I'll go upstairs and tell him. Man. And I want
Indeed.
to thank that brother, man, from North Carolina. I forgot his name. It's something 44. I remember the
Yeah.
44. But I like his energy, though. It's going to take that energy and that passion
Yeah.
to kind of move us. You understand what I'm saying? It's
Mm,
just that I think he forgot that I'm 64 years old. I got a fucking hearing aid. And it's like, nah, I'm good though. But I'm just saying, we're gonna need that energy. We shouldn't ever quail it. We just need to kind of redirect it in some areas, in some cases. You follow me? But we need
mhm.
we need that energy. Definitely need. And I want to thank King Simon for always being on point. We need to start revering and honoring brothers like King Simon because there's a lot of brothers that's our age that's checking out of here, man. That
Yeah.
haven't carried that information to the next generation. Myself, yourself, King Simon, we're those individuals that has to pass the information on. All right,
Mhm,
so it's a certain level of respect that you have to have for these elders, man. I'm a junior elder.
mm,
All right,
mhm.
yeah,
Definitely. Definitely appreciate all the work you put in. I appreciate everybody who called in. Um, everybody who added their comment, asked a question, everybody in the chat tonight. We gonna figure this thing out, family. We definitely
yeah,
gonna
we
figure
are.
this thing out. We
Yep.
we just, taking care of what we gotta take care right now, but it's we closing one paradigm and opening up a new paradigm. So there's gonna be, we gotta figure out exactly where we all stand and how we could all unite if that's possible. And I want to thank everybody for adding on to this conversation. I will be back Wednesday, family. With that being said, I want everybody to RIP. What's the brother name? Ray DeJohn. Ray DeJohn. You know the brother from I think I know him from Video Music Box. You know the brother Griff.
Nah, who is he? Who?
Hold up. Let me show you the brother. Right.
Great. Nah, I don't. Video music box. Mm-mm.
You when I show you the brother, you gonna know the brother. Give me a second before we get out of here. Rest in peace to this brother right here. You see this brother right here, Griff? You don't remember this brother?
Yeah. He passed on.
Yeah, he just passed on. Yeah, he passed on.
Oh yeah. No, the brother. Yeah. Wow.
That brother passed on. So shout out, rest in power to that brother. Shout out to King Simon. Thanks for reminding me about this brother passing on, King Simon. King Simon knew him. He knew him personally. So yeah,
Wow.
that brother. I grew up listening to that brother. And yeah, let me see. Yeah, King Simon said my brother. Yeah, definitely.
See,
Uh
but you see what I mean, brother Rich? We lose when brothers like that die. We lose a library.
yeah, yeah,
The library burns to the ground when we lose brothers like that, man. Yeah.
indeed. All right. With that being said, we get out here, King Simon. Thank you, Professor Griff. Thank you so much, my brother. I'm gonna talk to you soon, my brother.
All right, give thanks, brother Rich. Peace, man.
Peace, peace, family. I will see y'all Wednesday night. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Somebody said this was a good live. Yes, this was definitely a good live. Definitely a good live. All right. Getting out of here, family. Thank you so much. I will see you on Wednesday night. All right, family. Peace and blessings. All right.